Is it yellow? That makes sense. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, and we are live. So, hey everybody, DerWolf here, and thank you very much for joining us for session 1 of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. Did I say it right, Patrick? Is it Fanduvi? Fanduvius? Fandovius. Fandidavius. Fandivalurgi. It's all good. We're going to some mines. It's going to be fine. But welcome, everyone, and just first and foremost, thank you for being here. My name is DerWolf. I am the Game Master, and joining me today are some really, really cool folks that I've run a couple of games for offline, and they're going to be playing with me on this stream. And it's probably gonna get weird. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I'm hoping it gets a little weird. Not like really weird, but now at this point I'm just rambling. But with that being said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the table and we're going to get to know everyone a little bit. Just really just kind of introduce yourself. If you've got some socials you want to shout out, go ahead and do that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go probably, from my perspective, left to right. So we'll start with Augie, and they will tell us a little bit about themselves, and we will take it from there. So Augie, take the floor. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your character, and we'll go from there.
I wasn't expecting to go first, but hello,
You're
my
welcome.
name is August. My socials are Augie Lane, AuggieLaine on everything. I am a music teacher. I have 2 dogs that I love very, very much. And I also have my little toothless Build-A-Bear. That's an important fact about me. I love him so much. I put the strawberry scent in him too. Love him. So my character is Zogun. He is a Simic scientist who really only cares about advancing his research and just trying to figure out more about other monsters in order to build his own creations even better than what they've had. Because they haven't really had a lot of luck with building monsters that have been more sustainable to them. So...
Yet.
Keyword,
yet.
Yet.
Well, makes notes in GM. There you go.
So,
that's fantastic.
He has gone out to different battlefields and just kind of like studied anything that was left behind to try and learn as much as he can about anything that other people would have used during the wars, just to try and advance his research, and that's really all he cares about.
Perfect. Sounds
he's
like
also he's
focused.
a Twilight cleric too.
Ooh. Very focused, and also apparently at some point we're gonna have to have him build some monsters, which sounds amazing. But speaking of monsters and amazing, we're gonna pivot over to Drubaka. Tell us a bit about yourself and your character, and we'll take it from there.
Hi, I'm Drew. Drubaka81 on most socials. I'm a maker of things, blacksmith, leatherworker, do 3D printing. I've been playing D&D since 2nd edition, which is still my favorite. I never get to play it anymore, though. Ooh. Anyways, I am playing... he is a Kenku bard. He's a bit of a con man, probably. And just all in all, he does speak in... He can only speak in phrases that he's heard before. So there's going to be a lot of quoting of random things and slightly out of context phrases when he does respond to stuff. So there's that.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can make it work.
I have every
It's gonna be hard.
It's
not gonna be easy.
Every faith in you. Speaking of, go ahead, please.
Yeah, he doesn't play any instruments because why would he need to? He can just recreate any singing or
I was hoping for a duet.
Oh god, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So,
well, speaking of things and folks that can barely speak. We're going to pivot over to Patrick, and
Really?
hopefully he can bumble through this. I don't know. I feel like harassing you constantly. I just neg you every
That's all right.
session. I don't know, man.
All right. Patrick, Life's Fantastic is what my socials would be if I was on any social media at all. I'm the old man, 51. I started playing with the red box, not the first one, the second one. So I was playing old school, basic D&D. Graduated to advanced, second, third a little bit. Skipped the entire thing with fourth edition because I was doing other things, and kind of got back into it with fifth edition. And then Pathfinder, where I've played with Wolfie for many a game.
Yes.
Even though he's killed one of my characters.
You have my condolences.
That's okay.
I tried every which way to save that character. I was like, give me hero points. Here's literally like roll with advantage, and you just roll 3 ones in a row. They just wanted you all dead.
The dice spoke.
Is what it is.
So.
But speaking of characters that I haven't killed because I love them more than Patrick, Brian, tell us a bit about yourself, and I'm gonna stop.
I appreciate not being killed.
You're welcome.
I am Brian. I'm at Mind Over Brian on both Twitter and on Twitch. Although on Twitch I spell it with a 0, and I am playing Butler, a Dragonborn fighter who is rebelling against his mostly sorceress family, and is a fighter. And I don't have any credentials.
None.
I play D&D sometimes.
No, I mean you play a lot of Pathfinder. Come on, man. Come on.
Also play Pathfinder.
A lot of Pathfinder.
Significant amount, and some Star Trek Adventures.
Occasionally.
When
and once or twice Fallout 2D20.
Yes.
It was fun though. We had a good time. It was good. Right on. And last but certainly not least, again, because
I'm Jester Jasper. I don't have any socials worth noting. I'm usually the DM, but for Pathfinder, I do that the most. This is gonna be my 3rd time playing 5th edition as a player, so that's neato. For my character, I will be playing Blue, the foul traveler sorceress. She is very lost and confused.
I love
it. And I'm excited. I was hoping that she would be a great pair for our bard because she has a hurdy-gurdy with her that she loves playing at night. But apparently our bard is too good for instruments.
I mean, other people can play them. That's fine.
Maybe that could be something, you guys work on together.
He can sing for you.
Yeah.
I can teach you how to play the hurdy-gurdy.
He can only sing things he's heard before.
So just give
you mostly only ever sing songs that you know, right?
I can't argue with that logic.
I guess that's right.
I literally can't argue with that logic. That is absolutely fantastic. And of course, since I've already introduced myself, my name is DerWolf. I am a game master. I've been running games for 25 years, started off in 2.0, so I feel your pain and love, Patrick. I do miss it sometimes, like the grittiness of it and like the crunch. I do. Man. 2E was so fun. Good. But I've been running Pathfinder, not a lot of 5e. So candidly speaking, 5e is not my bread and butter. So I am going to be relying on these brilliant role players to remind me when I screw stuff up. And also, I guess that gives them free reign to like just make up rules. And just be like, oh no, that's totally on page 402 of the PHB. It's just trust me.
You can drink 3 potions as a full round action.
I mean, not even. It's a standard. It's a standard action, right?
Move action, standard, bonus.
Yeah. You can do it as a bonus action. Just glug, 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 done, and we're all good.
Yeah, I didn't talk about. I've only been playing D&D. I've only played 5e for about a year and a half. I've played Pathfinder once, which was with DerWolf at UniCon.
And they did a great job. Your character was a BAMF. I think you were the paladin, if I remember.
I was.
Yes.
Yeah. I did the best that I could for not being able to hear anything in that room.
Oh, it was so loud, and my voice was just gone afterwards.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we're actually going to transition over to a more different screen, and we've got a little bit of our map here. So, just to set the scene for everyone, you all are returning from the north. You're heading south along the ocean, back towards Neverwinter, Swords Coast. Thank you. And you've been traveling now for maybe a week or two on this boat that is run by a catfolk captain who wears a patch over their eye. And they kind of talk like this. Hello, I'm a catfolk. It is nice to see you. Hello, I am the captain of the vessel. And the big thing about this catfolk is that the eye patch switches sides depending on the day. But if anyone brings it up to this catfolk, they don't just ignore you. They're like, no, it's always been on my left side. It is totally fine. But with that being said, you've actually just arrived in Neverwinter port, and the ship itself, it's a large sailing vessel, has just docked. The gangplank is being put out. There's a number of both travelers, merchants, some mercenary types, similar to your group, and as you're all just starting to pick up and pack your things, we're actually going to pivot over to. Now, I'm going to screw up your name, Brian. It's Pytor? Pyort?
Peter.
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 Yes, like the man from Bible. Peter.
Peter.
Yes.
Peter. Doesn't look like Peter.
Peter.
Peter. Peter. I like it. It's Peter. So.
No, it's Peter.
Peter. Isn't that what it said?
Yes.
Yes. Very good. So the captain of the vessel is seeing folks off of the ship. You've got like a small family of halflings in front of you, and they're like, the little kids are like, oh, I'm so excited to be in Neverwinter, whee! And the parents are like, yeah, I mean, thank God it's not under assault right now. It's actually a peaceful time in Neverwinter, so that's great. And then, the little kid's just like, I want to go see the battlefields. And the parents are like, no, we're visiting our in-laws. But anyway, I digress. So they're heading off. And as you get up to the captain, you're getting ready to step down the gangplank. The captain actually looks at you. And this catfolk, he's got these long whiskers, kind of twirls one of them. They twitch a little bit, and you see he's got his little eye patch on. He looks over to you, and it is strange to see one of your kind here in Neverwinter. Not a whole lot of dragon folk that choose to carry a sword as you. What is your purpose here, if I'm not prying?
I have found friends. We are moving to mine to check and see if it is sound for economy.
At the mention of mine economy, you see the one eye that's not covered. The patch is currently on his right eye. The eyebrow kind of goes up a little bit, and you mentioned something about a mine. What perhaps is in this mine? And you see his whiskers twitch a little bit with curiosity.
No one tell Piotr what is in mine. It's just a place to go to protect from bad guys.
Blink, blink, blink. You're not much for information, are you, big man?
Well, I am muscles. It's very hard to say in common. But there is a term for dragon folk like me. It's trust.
Blink, blink, blink.
Muscles and fighting.
Blink, blink, blink.
I'll come up, and he's the meat shield for our group. And I'd have to say, Captain, I've never known a cat to like water like you do.
Well, that is not to say that I like water. It's just that, I'm not in it, I'm on it. It's a stark difference, if you understand what I mean. I choose not to swim, but I also choose to... And he kind of blithers off a little bit about it. And then one of the other crew members sees him blithering a little bit, walks over and says, all right, move along, off the ship. We've got to get the next crew on. Come on, get moving. And just waves his arm and waves everyone off. And as everyone is getting off, I'd like to ask, Click, what are you doing at this point? You are exiting the ship. What would you be doing at this point?
Click is he's pretty much just quietly listening. He has, very obviously he's a bird man, he has very birdie mannerisms, but he's just quietly kind of watching and taking everything in. This isn't the time for his this isn't the time for any shenanigans.
No shenanigans at this point?
Nope.
All right, Fair enough. So just kind of taking everything in. What about, it's Zogun? Am I saying that right?
Zogun.
Zogun. These names, they're all so unique. Zogun.
Yeah, it's like the U with the ulads.
Ah, like an umlaut. Okay. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. All right, carry on. So what is Zogun doing as everyone steps off the vessel?
He has his notebook out and he's just writing down things that he sees. All he cares about is the research, and so he's kind of looking at the environment, trying to think about like past research that he's done where he might know what kind of monsters are going to be like around that we might run into, or anything else that he might see. Just trying to like take in the scenery, but also make sure that he's taking very diligent notes.
So I think this would be an interesting time to make the first roll of the game. And congratulations, Augie.
So last that I'm not even least.
You're not least.
No, it's fine.
It's all good. It's all good. Come on, you're doing God's work. It's fine. But with that being said, Augie, I'm gonna have you make a perception check to see if you can pick up on something. Let's see what happens. That is a 22. That is fantastic. So Zogun, un with the umlaut. There it is. I'll get it right eventually. I'm bad with names. But so Zogun, you've stepped off of the vessel. You hear that, the creaking of the game plank as you step down. There's this just dull roar of sounds and voices. I mean, the dock area in front of you is just filled with people getting off of vessels, getting onto vessels. Think of it like a busy airport or marina, I guess is what you could say, like in modern times. And as you are looking around, you actually see what looks like a large crate, but you notice that there is a line of metal, almost iron bars that go around. So it looks like there's like a vent hole. And as you are watching this large crate, there's a crane. It's lifting it up off the dock and moving it onto a boat. And you see the whole box kind of shift and shudder for a second. And you can just make out what looks like maybe half a dozen eyes that look like they're attached to one creature there. And the whole thing kind of shakes. And the person that's operating the crane, there's 3 of them. They're like, oh, hold it steady. And it's just woof, woof. And you hear this dull kind of roar.
I don't know. I would probably try to get closer to it.
Okay. All right. So you are welcome to move your way over to a little bit closer to this box and this guy that's operating the crane. The vessel that it's going on to is very, very nondescript. It's a little bit smaller than the vessel that you arrived on. Yours was like a 3-deck schooner that had 3 masts, very large vessel. This one is just a single-masted vessel, 2 decks as far as you can tell, and there's just a large opening where this box with whatever this creature is inside is being lifted up and transported into the vessel. And as you get close, a burly kind of looking dwarf moves up to you and kind of gives you a once up and down and says, "Oi, what you doing poking around over here?"
Sorry, I'm trying to find a pen.
Okay.
So I'm just here doing research. I noticed your box.
Blink, blink, blink. Like no books.
Well, I noticed that it's not very secure, is it?
Blink, blink, blink. The box above
Click,
him.
click makes the roar sound.
The roar sound.
He's following behind her.
That's fantastic.
Makes like the roar sound, like kind of quietly.
Yeah. As it kind of shakes a little bit, the box, and you can see one of the ropes. So there's 4 ropes that come down from this central hook, and one of the ropes looks slightly like it's just a little bit frayed, not enough to where it's going to fall, but the dwarf just crosses his arms, looks at Zogun, and just says, "Box is fine, ropes are fine, carry on."
I back up like 5 or 10 feet, and I still just continue to look at the box.
Just gives you eyes, and just slowly turns around. And as he slowly turns around, we're actually going to pivot over to Blue. who you are the last one off the vessel. And
Apparently.
the captain, as you are getting like about halfway down the gangplank, he looks over to you and says, "You know, I thought that perhaps the Dragonborn seemed the most out of place, but you actually seem even more lost than he did. Tell me, what brings you to Neverwinter?"
Kind of like, I like pull back my neck and show off my scales, and I'm like, is it because of these?
And he again, his whiskers twitch a little bit, and he kind of sits back, leans back against the railing of the vessel, just kind of looking down at you. You can only see his upper torso. That, among other things, you seem as though you are looking for something, but you don't exactly know what you are looking for.
The world is so big to see, yes? No? There is so much to see, so many places to go. It was cold in Luskan, so it is very good to be back in Neverwinter, where it is so much warmer. I missed the heat, but I did not necessarily miss the smell.
That actually brings a very hearty laugh from this cat, which kind of sounds like this cat folk, which almost sounds like a half hiss and a half laugh as he belly laughs there. You know, for a place that is called Neverwinter, the summers are quite warm, as it were. He leans in, and he appears to be like just kind of drinking you in for a second, like he's trying to figure you out. I'm gonna have you make the second roll of the game here. I want you to go ahead and make an insight check, if you would.
Great.
Or is that is it insight? No. Yeah, it is insight. Okay, perfect. 9.
Got a
Yikes.
9.
Okay. So you can feel him just like, again, drinking you in. His eyes go like they're locked onto your eyes for a few moments, the one eye, and then you actually watch him as he takes his eye patch, moves it over to the other eye, leans in with that eye now that's uncovered, kind of does one of these. "I wish you all the best on your journeys. Be careful." And
Well, thank you very much.
and he pivots around, goes back, and you see the ship is getting ready. The most of the folks that were getting off of the vessel have disembarked, and everyone else is just kind of starting to bring supplies off, put some supplies on, and again, the whole dock area is extremely busy. Now we're gonna pivot back over to Pitor. There it is. I've got it. Is that did I do it right? Pitor?
Yeah.
Pitor.
It's
Pitor.
very good.
So you and Barden, I'm going to imagine, have disembarked together and or maybe mingling about. As you are mingling about, I need each of you to give perception checks, because based on the letter you received from Grundin Rockseeker, he was supposed to meet you here at the dock, but as far as you can tell, I mean, maybe it's just because it's so busy, you don't see anyone at this point. Pitor, you have feet. They are big, they are clawed, and you also have big hands and weapons. And you know what? That's great. And also
Nervous in the big city.
There's a lot of folks around you. It is crowded. Maybe even you're feeling a little claustrophobic right now, because it's like people are bumping into you. An elf walks by and he's like, "Hey, watch where you're standing," and just kind of pushing you around. But as you are standing there, you see nothing. But the good news is Barden, with that solid 16, you actually look down a long kind of street, and up on the left-hand side, you see, standing on a barrel, you actually see Grundin Rockseeker, who I am actually going to bring over so that the folks at home can see what he looks like. And if you bear with me, oops, let me grab him really quick. But he is standing on a barrel, and he's kind of waving his hands up ahead and makes this motion like, "Hey, come on over. And standing next to him is a sort of, how do I put this? He is a very stoic looking human. He's got a long, almost Fu Manchu, and he's just kind of doing one of these as he looks over, and he just can barely see you, mostly sees Pitor, and is just kind of watching you both, but you see Grundin waving his arms as such. And I'm going to go ahead and just drag these guys over so, again, the folks at home can see them. So we've got Grundin, and then we've got the gentleman standing next to him right there. But you've seen them. I want to give you guys a few moments just to interact and make decisions.
Dragon Man over there. There's do you see him waving? That's that.
Waving man. Is that who we're looking for?
We go that way. That dwarf with and then the guy with the mustache who doesn't know how to grow the rest of his beard.
All right.
I finished hopping my way.
Blue, we are this way.
I finish hopping my way down the gangplank, and I quickly prestidigitate my hair and get all the salt water out of it, and I'm off following my Dragonborn compatriot.
As you are walking and you prestidigitate your hair, there's almost this like film that kind of slides off, and then as you are walking away and the film slides off of your hair, it's now perfectly dry, the kind of crusty saltiness. As you're walking by, a small little halfling next to you, that same family that was kind of putzing around, the father looks up and says, "Oh hell," and then sploosh, the water just plops right down on top of him.
Sorry.
He is soaked, and he just looks around and just starts yelling at you and grumbling,
skipping away before anything else can happen.
But as you three are starting to gather, folks, I want to pivot back to Zogun. So you are watching this large crate, and it's about halfway. So imagine, if you will, there's roughly a 6-foot space between the ship that this crate is being moved onto and the dock itself. The docks are made of stone. There's a game plank, but then there's this crane that is a hand crank, and you see 2 people are moving it, 2 humans are moving it. And as it's moving, you watch as that one tiny little rope, you just see it's like ever so slightly, it looks like it might be starting to fray and come undone. So if you
this is a real quick question,
a 3-strand rope. Go ahead, please, Blue.
How like, I know I'm not there, but like, how big is the box? Like, how big of a creature is this?
So you're thinking large at least, maybe huge size.
Okay.
Like it's big,
okie dokie.
like big, like a big box. So, okay. Zogan, you are watching this happen, and what I'm going to have you do is I'm actually going to have you make a investigation check here for us, because I want to see if you can determine whether or not that is going to break before it gets over.
I have a -1 to investigation too.
But that was a good roll, actually. That was a really good roll, actually, all things considered. So as you are watching it, you notice that again. So imagine a 3-strand rope, which is just three strands that are, tightly wound together. One of those strands, you can see it's just starting to fray, and the box itself, as you are watching it, it is ever so slightly askew on the corner that is closest to you. And every time the creature inside, whatever it is, moves and shakes, you watch as that one little rope just kind of click, a little strand, click, click, click. And that is where we're at. So I'm going to give that information to you, and you can do with it as you see fit.
I am still going to stay over by the box and not go with the rest of the party to... Because I'm so interested. I'm hyper fixating on this box. I'm waiting for it to break. I'm not going to say anything.
You want it to break? Is my
I want it to break.
Click is over there with him.
That is fantastic. So Click is next to, and Click, why don't you also make an investigation check? Because I want to see if Click can determine that this thing is probably about to bust. Let's see here. We got a 12. Click. So, Click, you see that it's frayed, but based on your roll, you're thinking, it's probably fine. So, the thing moves, and now we're going to have a little bit of fun, and I need someone to tell me high or low.
Low.
Fantastic. All right, so here's what happens. So, as that thing is being moved, there is a snapping noise as the one corner, that rope that was starting to fray, you watch as it click, step, and the whole rope gives way, and this large, huge size crate that is before it starts to move, and it starts to give way, and whatever is inside starts to go berserk. It is just roaring and screaming and shouting, and all of the dock workers that were starting to move this thing over are starting to scream and shout, and, "Oh no, it's giving way! Oh, get it! Oh god, it's gonna get free! Ah!" And everyone's starting to panic, and actually there is a panic that's starting to happen in the crowd as people start to look over towards this box. And as that one finally snaps, the whole box starts to pivot and move and fall. And as it falls, it hits the side of the dock. So right where, and it's teetering ever so slightly between falling into the water and actually staying on dry land. Every time the creature inside roars and is starting to buck and hit the different sides of this crate. And as you both are watching this crate being, moved around and damaged, you actually see these magical runes start to glow blue and red on the side. So the box is likely enchanted to help keep whatever this creature is inside. Now, we have a very important roll here.
Uh-oh.
I need another high or low because this box is starting to teeter back and forth. Either it's going to fall into the water or it's going to stay on dry land. And I need someone else, not Chewbacca, to give me a high or low.
I'm going to say low.
You're going to say low. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Low! All right. What do you want to have happen? Do you want it to stay on dry land or do you want it to fall into the water?
I didn't know I'd be making this decision. I'm going to say stay on land.
Stay on land. Bold choice, Cotton. Let's see if it plays off. I'm very excited. All right. So as the box starts to teeter, a couple of the dwarven crewmates, along with the humans that are up in the crane, actually run over and grab onto the last remaining rope that's actually started to come undone from this crane. And they grab onto it and they actually manage to heave and pull, and the whole crate snaps down onto dry land and does not fall into the water. Now that it is on the ground, it's not about 10, 15 feet in the air, you can actually get a very good view inside. And to describe what you see inside of there, you see it looks to be a metallic plated creature that has several eyes, 6 of them. So it's got 3 on each side. And now someone has to remind me here, to know what a creature is, what's the roll in 5e?
Probably like a nature check.
Probably nature.
Or you might be able to do history if someone's ran into it before.
Since you do a lot of research on monsters, let's have you roll a history check for us. I want to see if you can determine what this creature is. Nature? We can do nature or history, whatever your preference. History.
I put
14.
history. I got a 14.
14, perfect. Let's say that I like that actually. I like that is a pass. So click, it's a 12. Okay, so together, putting your eyes together, click, and Zogun. You actually recognize this. It looks to be an owlbear, but it's not a normal owlbear. Something is different about this creature. You notice that it's got, again, 3 sets of eyes, and instead of having that feathery kind of look, it's almost got like plates that look like it's been changed or warped in some way. And as you're watching this happen, and you're figuring out what it is, the group of these men and women that are acting as the crew of the ship that are trying to get this thing onto it, they start to form a perimeter and actually start to push you all back. And after a few moments, there's a wide, good 30-foot perimeter around the box, and they're starting to repair the rope, and unfortunately you're not able to get any closer to the creature.
Freaky owlbear.
Indeed. But with all of that being said, we're going to pivot over to Pitor, Barden, and Blue, who have found your patron, and you also do see where your friends are. So if you want to go grab them, you can, or you can just run off by yourself, because they seem pretty enthralled with this owlbear. It's up to you.
I can see that Zogun is very enthralled, but I summon a little mage hand and tap on Click's shoulder and have the hand point over in our direction so that he can see where we are and where we're going. Just giving them an indication where we're going. And I follow along with Pitor.
Perfect.
Towards the patron.
So, Zogun, are you going to stick it out? And then Click, are you guys going to stick it out and watch what happens at this point? Or are you guys going to call it quits and head back towards your patron?
I'll hang out with Zogun, whatever they end up doing.
Perfect.
Just I'll look over it and just kind of say, yeah, since it's back in the box, there's not really much that I can do. I think I got what I needed. And I just head over with the group.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
When Zogun joins the group, Peter will lean over and go, "Did you manage to fill Spank Bank, Zogun?"
Oh,
What is Zogun put drawing in book? That is Spank Bank.
he's.
Yes, that is what Barden told me.
I take
I
my
have told
research.
you this
no.
many times, Peter.
I don't know who.
I take my research book and I just hit him with it.
I don't know who told you that. No.
Sorry, Fred Zogun, is that not appropriate?
I can't breathe. That's
Pitor.
I hit him with my research notebook.
No.
I can't.
No.
I can't.
Just go meet with the.
That's too good.
He's making me sound like him now. Go meet with the Grux Seekers. Go. Gundren wants you. Go. I'll unload our.
So
make sure our
after
stuff is
that
unloaded.
brilliant display of dwarven phraseology,
Wow.
yeah. Like I said, don't trust Patrick. He's a real.
I did not do that at all.
That's not what I'm hearing. I hear something different. That's what I heard. I heard you did, but irregardless. So as you all are making your way towards Grundon, you see that he's literally been waving his arms, and the arms are starting to get slower because he's getting tired, and he's just like, at this point, he's just like, what the fucking?
How long is this alleyway? We've been walking towards him.
It's like 8 miles. It's fine. You can see him very far in the distance. No, okay. So you've walked up to him, and as you all approach to him, you see just this big grin on his face. Friends, it is good to see you. How was your journey in the north? Did you gather the supplies that we needed?
Yes, was very sometimes cold though.
Aye.
It was very cold. It's not fair to send us someplace so cold so quickly from someplace so warm.
Also, we have adopted Bird.
Bird? What?
Hi.
Hello. He leans over to Petor. What's it do?
He's like parrot, but fighty.
Right. So wait.
It saved our life on several occasions, actually. So, it's kind of important that it stays with us.
Also stole Blue's
I'm
purse.
kind of a big deal.
All right. So where are you from, Bird?
Well, here and there.
That is what I say when people ask where I'm from.
Enough with chitter chatter. You promised me muffins. Where are muffins?
Right. Muffins. Oh, we got those. Selder, where are the muffins? The gentleman that he is standing with looks over and looks to Grundon and says, "Muffins? You never said anything about muffins."
You didn't say anything about muffins?
I'm sure I sold something about muffins. No, sir, you did not say anything about muffins.
This was all about the muffins.
It was all about the muffins.
Why would I go all the way? It's so cold.
I would never disappoint Blue. I sent her to the cold far north, and then I said, if you do this, you come back, I will show Zogum very fantastical monsters.
Muffins. This is what he said. Why did you not bring the muffins?
All of the steak he wants. Bird person gets bird seed. Barden gets all of the ale.
But you did not know about bird person, so but we didn't. But it's okay.
I'm assuming that
yes, he would like the seed.
I am
truly.
assuming click. Bird person. I don't know what your name is. Is it Click or is it Clack?
Close enough. We don't really know actually.
What is your name, bird person?
See, that's what I'm saying. We just call him Click, but he doesn't say good words very often.
His name is.
Wait, like the sound?
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia.
It's just.
Yes.
Wait. That doesn't. Seriously?
Yeah, he answers to it.
That sounds made up.
Not very good at making the sound myself, so
probably made
I
up by
prefer if he
Buzzcrupper.
had a different name, but it's whatever.
Barden leans in towards Click. Did I get the pronunciation right?
Barden? Barden.
Barden. Yes, that is my name, Barden.
No, that's my name.
Wait, no, your name is Barden. I'm Grunden. It's fine. You are very much confusing me. Anyway, I have great news. Great,
Dwarves are interesting
fantastic
people.
news. I have discovered a potential mine that houses ancient secrets just to the east of Felden. Is a town to the south of Neverwinter. Here's what we're going to do. All of the supplies that you gathered from the north, you're going to put it in a cart. My friends and myself, trust me, Blue, we will get the muffins. Before we
You
leave.
better.
I
You
promise.
better.
In the cart, with all of the supplies that you get, there will be muffins, and it will be fantastic. Don't worry about it. But
Do not break promise to Blue.
I would never do such a thing.
Why is everybody Russian now?
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
keep
Everybody
slipping a
Dragon
slip
Ball.
out of
We
it.
dropped into Russian. It's good. I like it personally. I'm good with it. But with that being said, so what he's going to tell you is that he's discovered this mine in the Sword Mountains to excuse me, to the east of Felden. And this mine appears to be very old, very ancient. And based on his initial delves into the mine, he believes that there could be ancient artifacts, research, historical documents, things that could potentially open up just all sorts of economic opportunities, like, just friggin' capitalism to the max. So he's very excited about this, and the supplies that you've gathered will be used in the delving into this mine. In the meantime, he is actually going to ride ahead because he's meeting with his brother in the town of Felden, and will be just kind of getting things set up prior to you all arriving. So you've got roughly a day in Neverwinter to just kind of mess around, do what you want to do, do any research you want, look into some things, and then on the southern gate, he's going to have a cart, a single cart with a horse set up for you all.
And
so that you can
muffins.
use it. All of the muffins. Very good. Blueberry, raspberry, apple. It's going to be fantastic. All of the muffins you can think of. And all the birdseed and steak and ale. It's going to be fantastic. And whatever Zogwin likes. Just historical documents on creatures. It's going to be great. Just a whole stack of them. But
Bribes.
at this point, really, you all have a little bit of time that you can take to just maybe do a little exploring in Neverwinter, do any research you want. If there's nothing you all want to do, we can simply just pivot to the next day where you guys are going to be getting this cart and starting your journey south to Felden.
He's putting us up in a tavern.
Yep. He'll give you a tavern, for sure.
Do they need any performance
You know what?
for the night?
You know what? The bar that was supposed to show up at the let's see here, what's a good name for a tavern? How about the
Rusty Anchor.
The Rusty Dragon.
the Rusty Anchor? I like
The
that.
Vulgar
Rusty, the Vulgar Unicorn. The Rusty Anchor and Vulgar Unicorn Tavern and Bazaar. It's fantastic. So that's what you guys are doing. So you are put up there, and you know what? The bar that was supposed to perform tonight, Click Click, did not show up. And you see the bartender or the patron of this establishment. She is she's human, and she seems very nervous and a little bit agitated as you all check into the tavern. And you overhear her talking about, what do you mean? What do you mean Gazelia, the fantastic person, isn't going to show up tonight? We need someone. We need entertainment. The people demand entertainment. And she is just like having a little bit of a moment right now.
Hey there, sweet cheeks.
She turns to you. Excuse me?
Would you like someone to be your bard tonight?
She looks you up. She looks you down. I'm still stuck on the sweet cheeks part.
He's a little vocally challenged. I pull out my hurdy-gurdy and I'm like, we can do something to fill the air, yeah, tonight?
Wait, can I tell where she's from?
Yes,
Me?
absolutely.
Or her?
Her.
She is from. She's likely a native to Neverwinter.
Okay. Would I know any Any like famous songs from Neverwinter?
Let's make a roll out of it, because rolls are fun. Let's do that. Let's see here. Let's have you make a roll. And let's see here. Let's do... Let's see. What are your skills? What do you got? What do you got over there? Click, click.
I've got some acrobatics, some... I mean, I'm a bard. I have points in a lot of things. Perception.
Do you have
persuasion?
Performance? Do you have performance?
Yeah.
I have some. I don't have any points in it because, like, you don't have to actually ever roll anything.
Let's make a performance check.
Okay,
Let's make a performance
I'm good
check.
with that.
Yeah.
I don't have any points in it because you never have to roll it. Let's roll that real quick.
So that is a 19. You actually recall a very epic, very heart-wrenching, like, song of like battle and people. It's like the Neverwinter anthem. So, like, if you ever go to a sports game and they've got their, like, anthem, it's like that, but on steroids, like a lot of sports people are, if that makes sense. So
he kind of looks her up and down, and then starts. He just kind of opens his beak, and the opening of that comes out in flute. And then, as it kind of opens and builds. He starts singing, the actual lyrics in like a kind of high male tenor.
okay, she stops giving you that "why did you call me sweet cheeks" kind of look, and she actually starts to smile. I'm only gonna pay you half, but I like the cut of your
He
jib.
stops instantly.
Oh, 3/4. 90%. Fine, 100. Click, click. I love it. All right, perfect.
I'll take some bread on the house.
Right. Just keep him contained. And you guys put on a fantastic performance during the evening. Actually, one of the best that the rusty... the rusty anchor and what was the unicorn?
Vulgar unicorn.
Vulgar unicorn tavern.
Brothel.
Yeah, Jesus. All right, let's keep it PG. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. This is not PG at all. But no, you guys all have very relaxing, long rest. You all feel very good. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
I wanted to go and see if I could find more research. So one of my abilities that I have as a researcher is that if I'm trying to learn something, I know someone who could give me the information, but if I don't know anyone in this town, I just try to find like a local library type.
So, Neverwinter being the large, robust city that it is, there are multiple libraries that you could find. Is there something particular that you'd be looking for to research?
I want to look into the creature that we saw. So initially I would go for like owlbear, and then I would try to go for maybe something with like that fit kind of the description of like the things that were used to like, I guess, experiment with it on.
I like it.
I would like to accompany Zogan. And for my research thing that I would ask Zogan for help with any information on this is like, we're heading out to these mines, right? And I vaguely know about Gauntlgrim and these great dwarven dungeons, wondering if this is part of Gauntlgrim or where even Gauntlgrim would be compared to this and things like that. So I'm kind of wondering where this dungeon is and what it might be before we go to it.
I love it. So Zogan, you two are going to head off to do that research. I do want to pivot over to Barden because we haven't heard from Barden in a while. Barden, what are you doing this evening in the tavern?
Oh, I was making sure that the supplies got loaded into the wagon and the wagon got to the rock seeker's place of business.
Okay.
Then went to the tavern, saw the click click booming with his little thing.
This was full.
Yeah.
Packed.
Drink an ale.
Relaxing.
Don't like all this crowd. I don't like the crowds.
You prefer the open road, which will happen soon. Good. And what about Pitor? What are you doing?
I hear that it's show.
Is show?
I hear that it's show.
Yeah. Just attending the show.
Yes, I hear this tavern makes very good potato meat.
It does. It's the best in town. Absolutely
Best in
fantastic.
Neverwinter.
The best in Neverwinter. Perfect. So you all are enjoying the show. Click, click. You're getting like roses and stuff thrown. Like everyone just loves it. Blue, while you're helping out, same thing for you. It is fantastic. Just a fantastic performance. Petor, you eat the tavern out of house and home. And Barden,
Yes.
while you're actually sitting there, I need you to give us a perception check real quick. I want to see if you notice something in the tavern.
Save.
Can you give me a roll to death save, please? That'd be fantastic. Thank you. Cool.
11.
You get the feeling, as again, it's wall-to-wall people. Imagine the busiest bar you've ever been to. You know, clicks up at the front. Folks are just freaking out. You know, throwing girders at him. It's crazy. Just absolutely fantastic. Just they love him, and you get the distinct feeling like you're being watched. You look around, everyone seems fixated on the performance, but you cannot shake that feeling that you are being watched. You don't know where, you don't know who, even if you take a few moments to look around and no one is looking at you right now, but you cannot shake that feeling. You know, if you've ever been in the woods, you just feel like something's watching you, that like fight or flight feeling. That's the feeling you have in the tavern.
Keep on drinking.
Perfect. Zogan and Blue.
Nothing booze can't fix.
Y'all head off, and you find one of the large libraries. And who would like to go first? Would you like to do research into these mines first, or would you like to do research into the owlbear's weird kind of mixed thing that you saw first?
I am following the scholar's lead.
Perfect.
So I was gonna say I'd probably do mine first, because then afterwards I can also look into the mines with Blue.
Perfect. I love it. So as you begin your research, what specifically, I know you mentioned you're looking at owlbears, things like that. What specifically would you be looking into? Like what kind of like documents, texts, what would you be looking for?
I'm interested in how they're built, like what their anatomy is, and just kind of seeing like, I guess more or less like kind of the basics of just like what they are.
Okay, perfect. So let's have you go ahead and roll a Arcana check real quick, if you wouldn't mind.
Yikes.
So you find a couple of documents that reference owlbears, their creation. They were created by wizards many, many years ago. They now do breed naturally, but they're an unnatural creation. They were created by warped magic, you know, maybe similar to the stuff, not to say that what you want to do is warped, but it was the mixing of, you know, owls, bears. It was taking two different species and weaving them together to make one horrific monster, as it were. But all of the research that you do, all of the books, and you find a nice big stack. Imagine yourself in a long library, you know, with multiple tables, little oil lamps next to you. You know, the librarian's like, here's another book, here's another book. You've got a whole stack. Blue, you're over there. You've actually gotten your muffins. The librarian looks at you and says, no eating in the library. But hey, you do you. And as you are continuing to do this research, you don't find anything in a dozen books that you go through, and you're doing a little bit of, you know, quick reading, but you find nothing that matches the description of this plated, you know, there were a couple of feathers, but it was mostly like a plate armor almost looks like, but you could definitely make out that owlbear. You've never seen anything in the text about an owlbear that had like multiple eyes or anything like that.
Okay, so then the next thing that I'll look at is going to be trying to find, like, I guess creatures with 6 eyes wouldn't really give me a whole lot, but I guess that's really all I have to go off of. So I'll start looking at like what other creatures would have 6 eyes, or if it was maybe mixed with something, or you know what, I'll look at, see if there's any like darker like experimentation books.
So at the
In
mention
the
of
forbidden section.
dark forbidden books, the librarian gives you a side eye, and he's
While
dressed.
she's distracted, I'm just stuffing muffins.
He almost looks like a butler. Like, he's very fancy, very finely dressed. He's a gnome, and he's sitting on a high stool behind the main counter, the desk area in the center where folks can go up and like ask for materials. And he kind of brings his glasses down and looks at you. Did you say dark materials?
Yeah, I was out on the dock, and I actually found there was a creature that was out there,
Right.
and it wasn't just an owl bear. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any like experimentation books that kind of show a lot more of what's going on, and that maybe it'll give me some insight to see what the creature is. I'm just purely for research purposes.
Right. Right, purely research purposes. You know, if I had a copper piece for every time someone came into my library and said that I wanted to read the Dark Arts books just for research purposes, don't want to raise an army of the undead and just destroy the city and all over the world, I would have at least a dozen copper pieces. No.
To be fair, Valindra did attack like
what did
2
I
weeks
tell
ago.
you about eating muffins in my library? What did I tell you?
Nothing. I was agreeing with you.
With that being said, unfortunately, my friend, I do not have... I'm falling back into your accent now. Crap. All right, no, it's fine. We'll make it happen. But, so, simply he tells you, the materials that you're looking for aren't something that he would have in this library, and likely wouldn't be something that, would be donated or kept in a library.
A public library.
A public library. It's probably something you might need to find, like, in a wizard's tower. A dark wizard's tower. But, he wishes you all the best in your research, and as you are maybe turning away from him, he looks back to you. Well, let me say this. You're not planning to actually raise an army of the undead, are you?
No.
Deception check.
You hesitated. What did you say your name was?
Well, as a Twilight cleric too, later on I do get raised undead.
He looks very nervous.
Do you want me to give the deception check first?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
6.
You see him slowly reaching over. And there's a little
Panic button.
There's a little he reaches underneath the desk, and you hear very aggressive tapping, like it's clicking a button right now.
Oh man.
And he's just watching you, and it might be time for y'all to book it. To book it out of there, probably.
We're gonna go to a different library.
Different library, do research on the history. Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow. Just and later on, Drubaka, Pator, Click, Pator, and Barden, you would actually see a couple of Neverwinter guards around asking about. Have
you seen this man?
Have you seen this man and seen this woman? We're looking for them for under suspicion of necromancy. But yeah, it
didn't take long.
Yeah, they know better.
It's usually a whole week before I'm run out of someplace.
Security. No, it's fine. But with that being said, so just to kind of fast track this a little bit, you all are able to do some research on the history of these mountains, etc., the Dwarven clans, and unfortunately you don't, again, find really anything that would give you any sort of real direct, these are definitely the ancient Dwarven clans or not. It's all very just hearsay. There's a couple of anthropology and archaeology books that you find that discuss the potentiality of there being some caves. But that also might be why your Dwarven patrons' discovery is so exciting, because there are no, there's not been any discoveries of these types of, caves or any sort of ancient Dwarven ruins.
Second War of Gauntlgrim.
Exactly. You've never really seen it. But with that being said, any other things that anyone wants to do prior to the next day?
They could have just asked the dwarf who's...
I was actually planning on asking the party.
Yeah.
I got swept along in the ride.
Yeah. It's all good. Y'all can actually head back to the tavern and all meet during the evening. The tavern is mostly cleared out. It's very late in the evening, about 1 a.m. Click, click. Go ahead, and I want you to roll 1d100 for me, please.
It's payday.
Well, you made 12
gold.
So that's good. Yeah. Apparently
With the
Neverwinterians
best
are a little
night.
cheap.
That's
You got
not bad.
you got
No.
tipped
Performance this place
a
has ever
lot
seen.
of
Not bad.
a lot of copper tips. I mean, that's actually not bad for a Knights of Singing. 12 gold. That's pretty good. That's,
Click click opens up his when he opens up his gold bag, he makes like a creaking noise. Green.
That's fantastic. Very good. Very, very good. So you all have a chance to actually meet in the large open area at a large round table. You all can sit down and just kind of discuss what the plans are. Barden, you've managed to get all of the supplies loaded on the cart. Petor, you have stuffed yourself full of anything you wanted to eat. Again, you do kind of stick out. Just to throw that out there, you do kind of stick out. Not a whole lot of Dragonborn in Neverwinter for whatever reason. But with that being said, I'm going to give the floor to you all to just kind of discuss anything you want to discuss at this point.
All the while I'm talking, I have a mage hand going behind me. It's taken some rope and it's slowly weaving the rope together into a hammock while I'm talking. And I know there's probably nothing that you can tell me, Balden, but, we went around town to some of the libraries and they didn't have any information on this. I was just wondering if any of the dwarven clans or something were close to the place we are going, the mountains. As just if there's any information you might have as a dwarf.
Well, there's no straws back then.
Wow.
We're going to I believe, the Sword Mountains. I believe that's right, the Northern Sword Mountains. There's been a few older mines back in the day. You said you were doing research. What mines were you looking for?
Well, I am from very far, so I looked into Guntelgrim, which I heard that there was, it was found by the dwarves.
It's been refound.
Yes, it was refound, and then there was big fighting over it because of the artifacts.
We are not going anywhere near that.
That is good, because I don't want to get in a dwarf war.
Okay, you remember the volcano you saw when we came into town?
Yes, yeah.
What was left of the volcano?
It is mostly blown apart, yes.
Yes, that's where Guntelgrim is.
Really? Okay, so it's to the north and we're going to the south.
North, yeah, we're going south. An old mine, we believe.
Okay.
They hired me because I've been all over. They want to make sure that it's sound. They want to make sure that there's still something worthwhile to take out of the mine. Mm-hmm. So we have our supplies. Petor has eaten everything that was raw meat in the place. He cooks it himself.
I'm very satisfied.
Yeah, he cooks it himself. You should see him. You're a red dragon, right? Dragonborn?
Yes.
Yeah, so he cooks it himself. It's pretty amazing. I'm impressed.
Ironically, as the red dragon, I like it blue rare.
I look like concerned. Like, blue?
Oh.
What do you mean blue rare? What does that mean? You're not going to eat me, are you?
Is meat cooking joke?
I like pastries more than the meat.
Petor, he has a funny accent. Does you think?
He's not as bad as your accent.
It's not very funny. I think it's pretty normal, actually. It's very, whatever.
What do you think? Click, click.
Click, click. Just gives you a look. Doesn't say anything.
Language impaired. It comes with the territory, I guess, being bold.
Well said. Well said.
Click only talks using other people's voices, so I don't think that he's really one to judge which voices sound funny or not, seeing as he encompasses all of them.
Don't interrupt our fun with logic.
Fair.
So good.
At this point too, I just want to like start talking to Piotr. Yeah, I don't know how to say that. What was it?
Peter.
Again?
Peter.
It's just
Peter.
Peter. Okay.
He's just a Russian version of Peter.
For sure. So I start talking to him, and it's purely for like my own validation because I speak Draconic. I just start talking to him in Draconic, but because like of the way my voice is, even though I'm proficient in it, I still sound like this, and I don't change the accent to talk to him in it, so it's very like dude bro type thing while I'm talking to him.
That's just what Dragonborn sounds like. What are you talking about? That's what Draconic sounds like. It's just
yes. When you translate Draconic into Common, it sounds very much this accent. But in Draconic, I'm like, yo, bro, like this is like the best. I'm having such a good time. Have you seen how polished my greatsword is? It's so polished.
your scales are so big, bro. They look awesome.
Dude, your greatsword looks sick.
I also speak Draconic, so I'm just getting in on the dude, bro. Just like...
I have no idea what's going on. I'm just watching them and going, what the?
I love it. I love it.
So, Click, tell us about you. What have you been doing before you met us?
A little song, a little dance. Someone's head on a lance.
Okay.
That is weird thing.
I'm going to go back to my drink.
We have had this conversation. I lost it for a second.
I'm going to take
See, we've had this conversation with Click before. He is not very good at communicating his feelings and history, unfortunately.
I think I need to take a constitution check for my alcohol consumption.
Sober as
my
heck.
excessive drinking.
Sober as heck.
Yeah. This ale is not strong enough. It's not strong enough.
No, Dwarven are much better, but potato mead is not bad.
Okay.
Everyone, perception checks, please.
Oh.
Nope.
It's the cat person.
Hey. I did good.
I did not.
Blue and I are just having so much fun speaking Draconic.
Bro!
Bro! Dude! What kind of wax do you use for your scales, bro? They're so shiny. I love them, man. That's so cool. All right,
oh my God.
let's reel it back. No, it's fine. We're having a good time. We gotta reel it back in. Reel it back in, right? It's all good. But with that being said, so as Dude Bros are Dude Broing, and as Click and Barden, you would both notice this. That feeling of being watched, it's ever present again. Something or someone is watching you, but you cannot quite put your talon or your finger on it. As you look around, though, again, the bar is mostly empty. There's a waiter, there's a barmaid. They're just kind of cleaning up the bar a little bit, getting things ready to settle down. There's one guy passed out. But you're definitely getting the sensation like you're being watched or viewed from a distance. And what I'm going to have you guys do here is I actually want you to give us a wisdom check, please. Wisdom check.
Only the people that saw or everybody?
Only the people that saw it.
Okay.
Wisdom is not my best one.
Cool.
Whoa, there it
Ooh.
is.
So that feeling of being viewed, it intensifies to the point where you start to hear this ringing in your ears, and then just as quickly as it intensified, it's gone. And that feeling of being watched has vanished. You look around, again, there's a passed out guy over there, there's the barmaid, there's the bartender guy, the waiter, they're just cleaning up, but that feeling of being viewed is gone.
I'm going to take my now finished hammock and head upstairs to our room and start hanging it someplace in the room.
Perfect.
Wait, Zogun, did you not find anything out about mine?
Oh, yeah, we found out some stuff. It was after we were chased out of the library, though. So we had to go to a different library, but we did find some things, and so I just tell them about what we found at the library.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And with that, as everyone settles down for the evening, your dreams are filled with images and flashes of dark, except for Zogum, because you can see 300 feet in the dark, but just dark corridors. Like, you can smell this kind of musty, wet, mossy kind of like scent, and just a drumming, like a very distant drumming from somewhere deep down this dark corridor that you guys find yourselves in your dreams traveling through. But with that being said, I think now is a good time to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. So we are going to pivot over to a quick intermission, so that the players can grab a drink, use the restroom, etc. But don't go away. Stick around, and we will be back here in just a few moments to continue session 1 of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. Phandelver. I said it. That's exactly what happened. Perfect. Thank you, everyone, and we'll be back here shortly. Cheers.
Did you say that we were dreaming that?
All right, and we are back. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. And joining me now are all of these awesome role players. We've been playing here for a little while.
We substitute everyone else out.
Yeah, except for Barden. Wait, what? No, I love you, Patrick. You're a legend. You're just doing a great job. But no, so we yes, the cat Luna, my cat familiar Luna, who actually does all the writing for all the stories. She's over in the corner, just whispering into my ear, like,
phasing in and out.
Tell them that they have a dream, except for Zogun, because they can't dream. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, Cat. Yeah, that's a really good idea. But no, so when we last left off, our adventurers were just at the tavern. They had gotten together. Zogun and Blue had done a little bit of research, and they had come to the conclusion that, this mine wasn't this ancient dwarven, war group thing, and Zogun had tried to do some research on owlbears. The gnome librarian had assumed that Zogun was trying to raise an undead army and called the police. Good news is, y'all are getting out of town the next day, so that'll probably be fine. Probably. We'll see what happens. But with that being said, we're actually going to open on the day in the morning of the next day. You all are beginning your journey south along the High Road, is what it's called, the High Road. And as you are making your journey south, the day itself, as the sun kind of comes up, there's a slight amount of overcast, like just a couple of clouds in the sky. It's got that kind of half dreary look to it, and every so often as you are making your way south along the high road, you'll just feel that little bit of kind of sprinkling, etc. And apparently my background is hiding the cat, so we're gonna go over here and we're just gonna go none, I guess, is where we're at now. But now the cat's gone, so there you have it.
Done?
I don't know. So
with the cat?
but apparently we're just gonna go back to this filter. So there it is. That's fine. But you know what? When she's back, I'll show the kitty familiar. We've got a kitty familiar with Jester, so we're good. That's totally fine. Look at that kitty. What a good kitty. But anyway, I digress.
I got Trey just off screen right here.
That is fantastic. I love your mask, by the way.
Thank you.
Drew,
I made it myself.
That's super in character. Oh my gosh, kitten cam. We're gonna need doggo cam at some point. At some point, so good. And maybe not today, but some point, maybe next week. That'll be we'll do doggo cam. It'll be great.
Sounds good.
Also, Brian has a cat too, so we'll do kitty cam over there. I think Patrick, you have a dog, right?
I have a dog.
And we'll do doggo cam. We'll do doggo weeks. We'll do cat weeks. It'll be fantastic. Anyway, I think we're playing D&D 5e. I don't know. We're talking about cats and stuff. This is actually a just chatting stream where we talk about our pets for 3 hours.
Stream.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's pivot back in. So you are traveling south along the road, and again, you feel just those little bits of water. Every so often there's a little bit of sprinkling, and as you're traveling south, the weather actually, unfortunately for Blue, starts to feel a little bit colder. There's a wind that is coming off from the northeast or northwest, off of the Lost Coast, off of the ocean, the sea there, and it's kind of striking you in the back. It is propelling you forward with this, every so often a gust, but you feel this kind of chill that runs up and down your backs as you're traveling south. And as you head farther and farther south, you actually eventually come to a bend in the road. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to pivot you over to your first battle map, which is super exciting. And you actually have tokens, and it's going to be great. So I need everyone to attempt to interact with their tokens real quick, just so we can make sure that your tokens work. Okay, Blue works.
Blue is good.
That's good. Everyone else?
I'm going to use Prestidigitate on my clothes to just heat them up a bit.
I got mine. Mine's good.
Everyone works? Okay, perfect. Pitor, brilliant. All right, so go ahead and place yourselves in the marching order that you would see fit. Barden is obviously driving the cart, etc. I'll go ahead and send this to the back. So, Blue, if you want to be on top of the cart, be up front.
Sitting on top of the cart. Very upset that the muffins are actually cupcakes.
No. There's half muffins and half cupcakes. But the way that the muffins were made, they're you know how muffins are a little bit more dense. These are very thin, like they kind of taste like cupcakes, but they're not quite cupcakes. They're like muffin cakes, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but I digress.
New confection.
There are no ways to put those two words together that don't sound dirty, so I'm just not going to try.
Okay, Mr. Spankbook. All right. Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah, this is my fault. All right. But as you are traveling south along this long, road, the high road that is
Long
heading
and lonesome road.
towards the city, you round a bend, and to the left-hand side, there's a small embankment that leads up about 10 feet. You see an outcropping of trees. There's forest all around you. And as you round the corner, you notice there are 2 horses in the middle of the road. They appear to have been pin-cushioned with several arrows, 3 on each, at least from what you can see.
Was they going to be okay?
There is blood on the ground, and they're not moving. You're not sure if they're going to be okay. They might be. I mean, maybe they're just resting. We don't know. But as you round the corner, you see this, and I'm just going to give you all a moment to take a look at the scene and interact as you see fit.
Zogan, you can heal this, right?
You say I can hear it?
You can heal them, the horses. They do not look very well. Magic.
What do you mean hear them?
No. Heal them with this.
Oh,
that thing.
Alden, pull the wagon over. It is ambush time.
What?
Can I do a medicine check on
Let's
this?
just pull sick horses.
You absolutely, Zogun, could make a medicine check on them. You would need to get closer, right up next to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hop down.
Zogun is ambushed.
I'm going to use my Vigilant Blessing, and I'm going to cast it on myself right now, so it gives me advantage on my next initiative roll.
Perfect. That's fantastic. Everyone give us perception checks, please.
Oh.
Have not rolled above 8 yet today.
What is there to see? Just poor injured horses that need our help.
Fantastic. Pay no attention to the goblin roll. It's probably fine. It's probably
It's
fine.
probably fine.
There's probably no goblins.
Barden starts.
All right, so we got a 10, 19, 21, 9, 17. You know what? Here's the good news. From your perspective, there's nothing. It's just horses. They probably fell. The arrows, they probably fell onto the arrows.
We need to heal the poor injured horses.
So if you want to walk over to those horses, you totally can. It'll be great.
Well, I got a 21.
You did.
Do I not see anything?
You see poor injured horses. Why aren't you not helping the
They
horses?
definitely need help. Those horses need help for sure.
No one cares. I'm hopping down because no one seems to care about these horses. I thought somebody would take care of this by now.
I'm gonna go up to the horses too. Also, Wolf, you can't see
ambush.
You can't see the rolls on the stream.
What's that?
You can't see the rolls on the stream.
Oh, what happened? Oh, boom. There we go. Sorry about that. I fixed it.
Oh, did he just run way up there by himself?
Well, I figured more people are
Zogan
coming.
I'm going with them because I need to. I'm clearly.
Let us all just walk into ambush.
Click, click. Watch the better.
Click. All right. So as you all make your way up, you get close to the horses. Zogun, let's make a check to see if these horses can be fixed.
The poor horses.
Peter tries to make himself as intimidating as possible, so he pulls his great sword and just sort of stalks forward,
So, here's the good news. I mean, it's very minor. You get close enough to the horses that you could look at them. Now, here's the bad news. There's a lot of it. All right, just forewarning you that was the good news. Okay, so that's your baseline of good news: is you get close enough to the horses to realize that they've been pincushioned with arrows, and they are very dead. And they've likely been dead for over 12 hours, maybe longer. So they're super dead.
Right.
Decomposition is not settled in yet, but if you were maybe a couple levels higher, you could maybe raise them.
the poor
You could bring them back, because apparently that's the thing that Zogun's into.
Well,
is necromancy.
we knew they were dead. Are we not?
They ran
cutting
out
them
of
for food?
cupcakes.
And as
Quickly.
you all are discussing cupcakes
Yum.
and undead horses, and the bad news is that you hear shouts and hooping and hollering. They sound a little bit like this. Kill them all! And leaping forward from the forest edge, you see several small,
Goblins.
yellowish-looking creatures with pointed ears and stumpy noses. And you would actually recognize these as goblins. And we are actually going to drop
I told you, it was
into
ambushed.
a little bit of combat.
Yes,
Are you here to heal the horses?
Blue is no
They
healing.
need medical
Horses are
attention.
dead.
All right, so let's go ahead and have everyone roll some initiative, please.
How does initiative happen?
Oh, that didn't. let me
You have to
think.
hit the.
Oh, you need to click on your
button.
token. Click on your token before rolling.
Yep, you got to click on your token first.
Ah,
Click on your
there we
token first.
If not, he can just put it in for you.
All right, let's see here. And let's see here. These guys get their initiative. Now, unfortunately, because you did not make your perception checks, they are going to get a surprise round on you, which could be bad.
Boy.
It's been a long
good.
time since I TPK'd a party, level 1.
Oh,
And you know
it
what?
hasn't been that long.
Yeah, so I just want to say, everyone, thanks for coming out to session 1 of the Lost Mines. It's been a good one. Everyone's dead.
Session 1 of 1.
Yeah, 1 of 1. It was fantastic. No one can say I didn't complete the adventure. It just completed with, yeah, that's terrible. No, I'm not. That would be bad. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let me get these goblins in here. Initiative. Boop. 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 And gadoop. All right, cool. So the goblins are going to go first. And hooping and hollering, rushing forward out of the forest edge. You see them kind of leap up, and they are wielding small, tiny, they look to be like patchwork short bows, and they draw back. And one of them points over at Pator, and Pator. I'm gonna do it right eventually, Peter. And they scream something. Does anyone speak Goblinoid?
Yes, the dwarf.
Excellent. He's screaming, "Get that one! Get that one! I like its scales! We can make a hat!" Blah! And they just like are freaking out and just being real crazy. And yeah, it's gonna take a pot shot. Yeah, it's gonna
You
take a pot
bought
shot.
potions for the horses?
And all right, first shot. Here we go. That is a 16.
That's his hit.
That is a hit. Oh boy. So that is going to be 4 damage as the arrow strikes you in the midsection, getting in through. What kind of armor do you wear, Peter?
Chainmail.
So it just manages to find its way in because they're tiny arrows. They're like half the size of a normal arrow because they're goblins. They're small. Just kind of finds its way in and strikes you in the side. The goblin to let's see here to the south here is actually going to kind of pivot and looks over, and he's gonna take a pot shot at Zogum up in the front there, and let's see what happens. Nat 1. So the goblin pulls back on the bow, and Zogum, as you look back, you see this goblin, it's this big shit-eating grin on its face, just pulls back, and as it pulls back, the bow snaps in half, and the top part of the bow snaps him in the head, and he tumbles backward, and it just starts to welt up, and he ends up on his butt, just on the ground, looking quite ridiculous in this moment. And next up is this goblin over yonder, who, you know what, doesn't like the pointed ears of Blue, and is going to take a pot shot at Blue, and is just
This is medicine!
screaming in Goblin about cupcakes being better than muffins, and just super angry about your love of muffins. 18. I think that is a hit.
That hits.
Oh boy, that's wild. 4 damage again. Oh boy, that's the number that they love. So the arrow strikes you in the shoulder. It's your muffin eating arm too, so it's gonna make it harder It's the left-hand side, which is good. And then last, but certainly not least, is this goblin to the south here, which sees a bird person and is actually going to take a pot shot at the bird person. 10 is a miss. The arrow goes wide. It actually flies right over Click Click's head and lands at the feet of this goblin up top here. And the goblin shakes his fist at his friend, calling him a string of bad names in Goblinoid. And we are now to the top of the round with Blue.
Whoever shot me, I leash all of my magic missiles on.
That is
I have to roll these individually.
Fantastic.
Is there like a bind for this, or am I just going to have to roll a bunch of them?
Does it
There
not
should be an
give you
attack.
There should be an attack button under it, I think.
Yeah, you're right. One, I get 3, right?
I believe so.
3, yeah, I'm on level 1. So 1, 2, 3, all at that.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 damage. So as you summon this arcane power, 3 bolts that look like shooting muffins. So it's like a muffin at the top, and it's got little like bits on it, and they just pop, pop, pop into this goblinoid's head, and the last one strikes him and leaves an imprint that looks muffin-shaped, and the goblin tumbles to the ground and starts making death saves because it is very dead. It's very dead. Very dead. So good job. That goblin's down. Speaking of goblins, this one over here, seeing his friend drop, is actually going to turn to Blue and is going to take another pot shot at Blue with his short blow. And it just goes wide and actually lands at the feet of the goblin whose bow broke when it attacks Zogum. And that one starts screaming at the other one. They're obviously very not very coordinated here. But Barden, you are up next.
Barden, I would say I'm going to charge, but that's not this game. Going to attack this one right there with my battle axe that I pulled off my back, and I'm using 2 hands.
Okay. Oh!
That's a crit.
That is a confirmed critical. Holy moly.
So I need to do the damage. So 28.
Holy crap. So Barden just runs up, and this goblin's on the ground, and it's trying to stand up. It's shouting at its friend. It looks over, and the last thing it sees is the flash of Dwarven steel as you just cut it in half, and it just boom, dead goblin all over the ground. Absolutely visceral.
As dwarves should do thus ever to goblins.
That was like 4 times its HP, by the way. That was good. Good job with the crit, man. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, that goblin is dead. That goblin is dead, and it is Petor.
So this lip here between us, like, can I just cross that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to cost you normal movement. It's just a little bit of an incline to go up there.
Yeah, I have that movement. All right. So yeah, I will move over and attack that guy with my greatsword.
Love it.
Should I bring more numbers to ambush?
21 is a hit. 16 damage. Your great sword, you swing wide and just cut open the goblin's front. It spills back to the ground, and its last words are, "Ah!" and it dies. And that's it. That's all you get out of it. Just it was trying to think of a good witty comeback, and it had nothing because you didn't give it time. And next up is Zogum.
Right, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame, so they have to succeed at a Dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
I'm going, for the one guy that's left.
17?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll,
Icky.
it's a 13. So, well, that's my turn.
So as you summon this red flame, it whips up around the goblin, and the goblin kind of does this little Highland fling, and the flames just jumping out of the way of the flames, and then it gives you like a shit-eating grin, and then it realizes that it's probably still gonna die, but that's fine. Click, you're up next.
Click looks at the remaining goblin, this guy over here. And he starts cursing at him in some random language who even knows.
Mhm.
And he's gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
Mhm. And that is a will save? Or is that just damage?
Wisdom.
Wisdom? Okay, perfect. And alright, these guys got a great wisdom check.
Of course, it's 1.
12.
DC 13.
So 4 damage?
1 point of psychic damage. I
Point
hit
of
it
second.
twice.
Okay, gotcha. So skaboom, and the goblin just like grabs the side of its head, and it's just like, ah, no, ow, it burns us, and is just having a bad time. And now it is that goblin's turn, who, looking at all of his dead friends, and the fact that, you know, someone can summon fire, one of them has Dwarven Steel, cut you in half, one of them shoots muffin missiles, and this dragon is like 8'5" and wields a great
Only
sword
6'4".
that is 20 feet tall.
The man next to
20-foot
him
long
got pulped.
sword, just aggressive. This goblin is going to take off in a full sprint and is just bolting into the woods as quickly as it can. It's still visible, but it is like, nope, I'm out, I'm done, don't want to play this game anymore. You guys win. I don't want to deal with you. And it is
For you
bolting.
guys, I'm going here.
Blue, you are up next.
Probably the only person that can get a hit off on this. Normally I wouldn't fight something that's fleeing, but they hit my muffin arm, dude.
I mean, you
Muffin
do
arm.
whenever you eat muffins now, you do roll with disadvantage. Just
I'm
every
gonna
time you
hit-
roll,
I'm gonna
make
try
you
and
do
hit them
dex
with a,
check, you just drop
firebolt.
muffins. That's terrible.
I got a 12.
And you kill the
12.
muffin.
And that is against what? AC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold
A
on.
touch AC? Is that a thing in this?
No.
Yeah, there's no touch AC
This
in this.
is regular good
Old
old
school.
D&D 5e. That is actually a miss. The
I expected as
firebolt
much.
just ever so, it just like it's going right towards the back of the goblin's head, and then the goblin trips, stumbles, does a tumble, and the bolt goes over it, and then it gets back on its feet and keeps running. So it would have hit. It was dumb luck that prevented it from getting hit. So that was how that worked. Absolutely fantastic. And as that guy is going, then we're gonna go over to Barden. I believe is next. Yes, Barden.
Yes, there's nothing. I'm a
Yeah.
dwarf. I can't chase this guy down.
All right, Pator.
I got 50 feet. I'll
So-
start searching this guy's.
Peter stabs this sword into the goblin that he left and pulls out his pike, and then moves the 30 feet to there. And since the pike has range, I stab him real hard right in the back of the spine.
Oh, that's aggressive.
No, I don't.
So again, you go to stab, but you get in between his legs. He trips over the pike, but does kind of a somersault thing, gives you 2 birds, and then keeps running. He's a nimble goblin.
EG
Asshole.
stream.
Yeah, he's having a good time. And Zogum, you're up next.
Oh, I don't really care.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like, bye.
I've already studied goblins and he's leaving, so
Just later.
Asshole shot me with arrow.
Click, click. You're up.
See you later, alligator.
All right.
And the goblin is going to disappear into the woods, fleeing
Into
for
the
its
woods.
life. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Oh no! I think I sang too
Oh.
much. I'm gonna get a
That's it.
Copyright
cease and
strike.
desist, copyright
You
strike.
got 8 seconds of a song. 8 seconds.
And we're gonna stop the battle music. And congratulations, you all have completed your first combats, and you've come out on top, which is fantastic.
Does
now
anyone
you
have potions for the horses?
Now you have a few moments to take a look and see what you can find on these goblins and figure out exactly whose horses they are. And actually, you know what it's going to be is Barden. As you are investigating the horses, and Zogum, you will probably likely walk up to them as well. Yes, they are very dead. You cannot heal them. You can bring them back to unlife at some point. Just, keep that in your back pocket. Think
Seems
about it.
like Blue doesn't understand the
Don't-
concept of death.
Don't waste the horse meat.
And Barden, you actually recognize the saddle on one of these horses, and there's a little insignia that is the dwarven clan of your friend.
Dark Seekers.
Yes, it's that, and you're pretty sure this is his horse.
This appears to be Gundren's horse. This is their horse. Gundren's. This must be the mustachioed man. His bodyguards. And I'll start looking around.
Not very effective bodyguards.
Not all of us. Look up at Peter. Not all of us can be you. I'm gonna do survival for tracks. Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
And I don't see Jack squad.
Hey, here's the good news. There's a forest around you.
Yeah,
Do with
I'm
that
a
as you see
ranger.
fit.
I'm a ranger, but I don't like forests. Go figure.
I mean, here's what I'll tell you. If you want to take some time and like really do some looking, I would have let you roll with advantage, and you can have that 19.
All right. I see tracks going in every direction.
Every direction. And then at some point it occurs to you, why don't I follow the tracks that were close to the one that ran away? Because that seems logical. And hey, guess what? It appears to lead off into the forest, and all of these different tracks all around, they all converge on one that leads off to the east, into the deep, dense forest to the east.
Meanwhile, I loot goblins. I need bow.
You do find a short bow.
Excellent.
Search through the horses' rucksacks and see if they have any health potions so I can heal the horses.
You know what?
If you waste a heal potion
You know
on
what?
one of the
You know what?
horses,
You know what, Blue? You know what, Blue? Roll me a D100. You know what? You know what? In my mind palace, I said if Blue rolls between 90 and 100, yes, you find a health potion. Yes. Yep.
a short bow that is too sharp, like child bow.
It's slightly cracked, like it's a small little vial and it's slightly cracked, but none of the potion juice is leaking out, so that's good.
Yeah, I wanted to look through them too, but I wasn't gonna do it when Barden was still over here.
That's fair. Just rummage through the dead horses' rucksacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you find maps. You find list of supplies. You find a couple of documents about the mines, etc. So this obviously was Barden's rucksack. They do appear to have been rummaged through at one point, and Blue, the potion that you find is actually like underneath one of the horses on like the other side of where the rucksack, like the goblins likely couldn't get to. You manage to just kind of like shoulder it up, and then you find this little vial. And it's labeled "Fix It," is what it's labeled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fix it, Felix.
Fix It is what it's labeled. That's good. But other than that, you have a trail that leads off into the forest, and you've got 2 dead horses, very dead horses. You've got a health potion. And these goblins all appear to be wearing the same clothing. It's all patchwork, but the clothing itself, in the front, it has kind of like burned into like this like nasty looking leather, is like a hooked claw. And also my familiar just showed up, so we're gonna take a moment to
Out of the void.
just love this kitty. Love her so much. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, so you have that information to do with as you see fit.
Did anyone check out this goblin that's over here?
Yeah, Barden was the first one over there.
Oh,
Yeah, I
first.
checked him out, but I don't know what he gave us.
It's
all, so.
very dead, and you all find in miscellaneous items, gear, etc. You all find
12 copper pieces.
Hold on. 3 gold worth of loot.
Good easy number to divide 5 ways.
It's mostly copper and little scrimshaws and things of that nature. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
I'll take that and put it in my pouch.
I guess, do we need do we want to just do like a party treasury?
Yeah, it's my pouch.
For 3 gold, who cares?
It's my pouch right here. That's the party treasury right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zogun's
we'll
not
need to keep a
interested
list.
unless it's more than that.
That's fair. Zogun's
If it's
like,
a number divisible by 5, I'll start carrying.
But they're so shiny.
Oh, I actually noticed gold. Pardon, what are you doing with gold?
I'm putting it in my pocket.
All right, but for sharing later, yes? You buy drinks.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Man after my own heart.
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, you have the 2 dead horses, which you have looted properly. And
They're just sleeping. Do not listen.
they're just sleeping. Yeah, they're just really tired horses with
Arrows make sleepy. You know, it's
dozens.
tired.
They're sleep arrows. It's totally fine.
I bought
These-
your horses.
Jesus. Killer.
Blue is not looking. Blue is somewhere else.
Are you gonna butcher the horses? Okay.
Yes, we need the
okay.
meat. I'm hungry.
You could. Yeah. Horse meats, that's legit.
All
Right
right.
there.
What you want to
Fighter.
leave? You want to leave all this meat here for wild
Rats.
animals to eat?
I mean, he's got
Fighter.
a point.
The horse is
Fighter.
already dead.
Fighter.
We're taking our time. Is somebody gonna help me?
Oh yeah, if
Oh wow.
Yes,
Well-
I will help.
we're running off, I would have been able to help you. I didn't know you were rolling yet.
That's all right.
Absolutely. You guys can find
I'm
the
following
path
our tracker at
that
this
will
point.
lead you to where you're going to be heading off to. So I'm actually going to pivot you all back to
Can't believe he wants to get the
a more different map. And you all are roughly... Let me do this really quick. Pivot you over to here. And go over to my little token. So you all were, heading down the road. And
Only road I've ever known.
It's I grabbed
Long,
I grabbed the map.
lonesome road.
It's my first time. Sorry, I've never GM'd before. And I'm gonna go ahead and move this over. So you all are actually gonna be heading off and traveling. It only actually takes you about an hour moving through dense, kind of thick forest, and eventually you actually come to a black screen that I'm going to reveal to you here in just a moment. It's gonna be fantastic. Reveal. Let me see. Oh,
So
no.
dark.
This stuff. And this is where it all falls apart because
Very dark.
apparently the dynamic lighting is being weird. How do I turn it off? Oh, there we go.
And we're
All right,
loading.
perfect.
We're
Cool.
loading.
All right, there we go. All right,
Loading,
perfect. So
loading.
you guys actually come to a mountainous kind of hill region. And as you approach, you see a stream that is coming out of the mountainside, or this kind of like rocky hill. It's not a mountain, it's just like kind of a rocky outcropping. And as you look over, you see that there is a number of like kind of thick forested area. The stream itself, which is about 5 feet wide, doesn't appear to be too thick. But from inside of the cavern, you all hear the chittering and chattering of what sounds like quite a few goblins discussing. And from somewhere even deeper inside, you hear a humanoid masculine, sounds like a human's voice, that is shouting at the goblins to get their grubby hands off of him. And as you all make your way up, that is actually where we are going to end today's session. With that, I know, I love a good cliffhanger. I gotta have something to bring you guys back.
With literal cliff this time.
Literal cliff this time is what it is, for sure. I know. But good news is that you guys are actually all going to level up to level 2, because that seems like a lot of fun, and I want to see you guys get to level 2. But no, I guess what you guys think? What were your thoughts? Did everyone have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time.
That was it was a great first run.
Sweet.
Eh,
Everyone except Patrick, whose opinion doesn't matter, just like him. So that's fine. I love you, Patrick, so much. You're a legend. Yeah. No, I want to say I thought everyone did an absolutely fantastic job. Everyone fell into character. Love the bro talk. Love and click. Barden is stoic as heck. Blue, you are delightful. And Pator just Oh, I love it. It's a fun group. I'm very excited to see where this goes. But no, congratulations on level 2, and we will be back. You will see these lovely role players back here next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They will be heading into the Cragmaw hideout. So we're going to pick up right where we left off here. And any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from the group before we hop off?
How much horse meat did you get?
Really good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good
how much?
game.
Well, you know what? Let's actually make that
how much
roll.
horse
How much
meat?
horse meat? Let's do a survival check. I
Well,
want
we
to see
did.
how many
Dinner.
pounds of horse meat you got.
We did a 13.
Dinner.
5. Unless you want to give us advantage, and then we did a 22 and a 15.
You know what? We're gonna give advantage. I like it. Yeah, you have enough
Yeah.
food for the rest of the journey, and then some. Fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, and you can I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Y'all are crazy.
Peter, I think we need to salt it. We need salt.
Of course, yes.
That is
I have salt in bag in survival kit.
Okay, then.
Guys,
we're good.
casual.
absolutely.
Where did you get all this food?
Absolutely fantastic. Well, again,
Later we're cooking it. Look, it's very good.
I just want to say to everyone that joined us here today, thank you so much for watching. We had about anywhere between 15 and 20 people checking out the stream, so thank you so much for joining in. Hope you guys and gals come back next time to see us continue the story. And in the meantime, be safe, be well, enjoy your weeks, and we will see you. Next weekend at 8 p.m. Eastern for part 2 of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. That's what I said.
Phandelver.
That's totally what I said. All right, everybody, take care and be well. Cheers.